What's up? It's your boy Dillavirus, and in this video, we're gonna cover an alternate future of the world. So now let's get into it. So, of course, for this episode, most of the action is gonna be taking place over here in Europe, and we will have. So we have first thing, Sweden joining NATO. As we can see, the purple is NATO. This is Russia's in red, and everything Russia attacks is in blue. And then over here in Ukraine, okay, we can see that there's a lot of NATO stuff coming in from Poland over here, and Russia isn't happy about that. So they're gonna declare full-scale war on Ukraine and send in the whole Russian military. And they take this here from Ukraine. Just hold on a sec. While Ukraine pushes into Russia here. However, that advance is cut right out, and they get kicked out back into Ukraine. And we see a front, looks like this. So now, the whole Russian military is coming in here. Kiev is right there, and they start another front up here by Belarus, because Belarus is letting Russian tanks go into their territory. So now that looks like this. And now they're gonna go ahead. Now they're right on the outskirts of Kiev. It's right here is where Kiev is, approximately. And now Russia though is just gonna connect to here. And now Ukraine is trying to really fight off. They start a spearhead up here to conquer this area back. And now, hold on, just messing with the microphone. Now Russia just kicks them out, which looks like this. And the Dnieper River, I think it goes like this. And they capture all this half of the Dnieper River. But then they try to cross the river, and Ukraine just keeps bombing the crap out of the troops. So they make a naval landing right here, which looks something like this, which is just real small. So now, from this little spot where they made their naval landing, they're going to go in here and try to capture Odessa, this small area here. But then Ukraine takes back this large area. And then what happens? Russia is attacking from the north, which looks a lot like this. And they take back. There's a bunch of drone strikes over here on Odessa, and Odessa gets taken back. So now they start a spearhead operation here. Sorry, I is pro if I'm copying you. And another one looks like this. Okay. And then this gets connected in here. Then this little area of Ukraine here, it's still surviving, ends up really kicking back the Russians. And you can see how the Dnieper River flows in like this. it flows like, hold on. No, sorry. Okay. It flows like, I'll just pause the video. Like that. So now, the Dnieper River is like the new border between Ukraine and Russia. But Russia is still gonna cross it because it's down here from the south. And then they start their front up north again through Belarus. It looks something like this. And this time they're gonna do something. So like Kiev is like right here. And this time they're just gonna do this. They're getting real close to Kiev. They have it encircled here. Hold on. It looks something like this. And this huge front here starts up. And Kiev is captured. But still, Lviv is here. And they made that new capital of Ukraine. So now Russia is going towards it. Ukraine really kicks them out. Then Russia makes their naval landing again and captures all this again. And then they unleash their whole military, which brings Ukraine down at here. And Ukraine surrenders. Now, taking a look at this peace treaty, Russia annexes the eastern half of the Dnieper River, and the rest of Ukraine becomes a puppet state. So now, after this, we have Russia going back into Georgia. So this is a very slow invasion, and it's real slow. And Georgia puts up a great big fight. Just kidding. They're not that strong, and the terrain is the only thing protecting them. However, wait. There was some mountains in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstani troops come. Russia's been training there, and Kazakhstan joins the war on Russia's side. And the Kazakhstani troops are used to the mountains, and they steamroll Georgia. However, Georgia's also used to the mountains, so then they come in and take out Russia and Kazakhstan. However, in the end, Russia and Kazakhstan win. The peace treaty is full annexation of Georgia by Russia. It just looked too weird if Kazakhstan got a piece. Sorry, Kazakhstan. Next, we see Russia form an alliance called the Minsk Pact, and which consists of Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, China, North Korea, Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, Pakistan, Iran, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman and Yemen, Iraq, Syria, Serbia, Sudan, Eritrea, Congo, Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua. And Mongolia and Afghanistan aren't full members yet, but they're thinking about joining. And in response to that, NATO becomes ARP, which means Anti-Russian Pact. So now anybody can join NATO or Anti-Russian Pact. And here's what ARP looks like. I'm not going to list all the members, And for some reason, Japan didn't join, even though realistically they would. So here's what's gonna happen now. So now Russia is going to invade Japan. So we have that going on. We have Russia is invading Japan, and they are trying to enter this island here, but it is not successful. We could see Russia taking this part of the island. However, Japan instantly kicks them out and takes over Sakhalin, I think it was called. And then Russia goes in and they take this over and they get back. And Japan and Russia settle on a peace treaty. So as we can see here, we have Japan getting divided in between North and South. North Japan joins the Minsk Pact. That's what it's actually called, the Minsk Pact. And the South joins ARP. Now, there is nowhere for the Minsk Pact to really expand into. However, we see a war in Moldova start as they get invaded by Ukraine. So, we see Ukraine take this part, and then we see Romania even push in, take over this part down here, and no, Ukraine tries to spear point and try to capture as much as they can of Moldova before Romania does, and this ends up happening, and we'll see the peace treaty soon. And for our peace treaty, we see Moldova getting split up, like the northeast getting taken over by Ukraine, southwest getting taken over by Romania. So, yep. And the next thing we see over here in Central Asia, we see Afghanistan uniting with Pakistan. I'll just click this button to make Afghanistan disappear. And now we see Iran, Pakistan, and Kazakhstan. Well, first, Kazakhstan sends ultimatums to Kyrgyzstan. And we see Pakistan send one to Tajikistan. And they both accept the ultimatum. They have also fixed the borders. But now, we have Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, which are going to get invaded by Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Kazakhstan. We see this happening. Trying to dominate Central Asia. So we first see a front, looks like a bit like this. We see this peninsula getting completely taken by Kazakhstan, while Iran and Pakistan make a front that looks like this on Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. And yeah, these fronts are pretty insane. While yeah, the Uzbeks push up into Kazakhstan like this, because this area isn't mountains. It's like this area, it's all mountains, and they push like insane amount. Sorry for saying insane. Into Kazakhstan. And Uzbekistan really is a force to be reckoned with. However, this part, they get pushed out of this part. And here, and over here in Turkmenistan, they capture Ashgabat. And the country surrenders. Wow. Now we'll center our attention over here on Uzbekistan, which is in very big trouble. They're now circled, split in half, and ultimately they surrendered. We now see Pakistan is ceded over to Tajikistan's panhandle over to Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has completely annexed Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan has been, well, it's been divided between Iran and Pakistan. And this is what it now looks like. Now, they say there's nowhere else for them to expand now, except for Armenia. It gets invaded by both sides, of course. And now this half got taken over by Russia. Like a good half. And then Azerbaijan connects itself to its exclave. And Turkey kicks in. Takes a bit. And then the rest is cedes over to Russia. Now there's little skirmishes in here. Like, this is not official war, but there's like skirmishes. Guerrilla warfare and stuff like that. But ultimately, they found a peace treaty for Armenia. Here's what Armenia looks like now. We see that Azerbaijan has connected to its exclave, and Turkey took a good chunk. And for the world now, this is what it looks like. And there's not very many area for them to expand for the red team, the Minsk pack, to expand into. However, except for South America and Central South America, and we see, like zooming in here, Nicaragua. They invade Honduras, and they start in a front here, which is taking this over. However, they go and take back some of this eastern half, and they get kicked out of Honduras, and Honduras even kicks into Nicaragua and takes over a big chunk. Nicaragua kicks them out and goes so far into Honduras. It's just a small part left. And they surrender. Peace treaty is full annexation. And now they're going to send, I think that's El Salvador. They're going to send them an ultimatum. And they say yes because they're so small and so weak. They never win against Nicaragua. And they get annexed. Next on the list is Costa Rica, which they invade. And Nicaragua's troops start storming in to Costa Rica. Tourists are not happy. And there's lots of supplies from ARP getting handed into there so that they can invade Nicaragua. and take it over. They take over this big chunk. Nicaragua kicks them out with the help of Russia and China. And now, this small section here, like, the Costa Rica is like landlocked now. That's how small Costa Rica is. And they surrendered. I might have told you this already, but Costa Rica is completely annexed. So yeah. So that would be it for this episode of Alternate Future. And please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Bye!